Okay. Okay. So, how Sleep the Brave? Okay. So, basically, this is I've been watching lots of YouTube because there's so much good stuff on YouTube. It's almost like you can go down a rabbit hole, and so a lot of documentaries, a lot of war stories. Now, and I found this Vietnam War film, which I saw uh, about 1982, it must have been, and it was on a VHS cassette, and it was pre-cert video nasty. So it is, and yeah, so pre-cert video, and this is the one they've got on YouTube. I mean, there's some they renamed it. They renamed it something else. I think it was also known as Once Upon a Time in Vietnam, and also known as Combat Zone, but it was heavily cut, heavily censored because this basically it's a story about an infantry platoon that goes out on search and destroy missions, and it's the funny thing is it's filmed in the English countryside. I think it must be somewhere in Berkshire. So the actual jungle scenes have got like British ferns, and it all takes place in England. But even though it's supposed to be Vietnam, but the equipment's great. The equipment's great. The weapons are pucker. They're okay, and it's just basically a shoot 'em up film. It's just basically uh, this members of this platoon getting killed out on a mission, and I mean it's very bloody, very bloody. I mean, like we're talking like shooting hands off people, and people being disemboweled, and it's pretty nasty stuff. Which was all cut out after the video nasty era, and it's not that nasty. Don't get me wrong. It's not. I mean, there was a lot of these things come out like Vietnam stuff, like uh, apocalypse stuff and stuff like that, which was really bad. But this is just really a combat. This is pre-platoon. And I think a lot of the later Vietnam films probably take a lot of their beats from that. So that, funny enough, I don't do this very often, but I actually looked on IMDb to see what the other ratings were of people. So this is what goes: brutal honesty of the realities of the Vietnam War, 10 out of 10 for me. We as an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10, what was that? It doesn't say in that one, but anyway, these must all be people that saw it. And I've watched this film multiple times. I watched this film multiple times on VHS, and it's just terrific. It's swearing is unbelievable. And I suppose being a young person at that time watching all these Vietnam films, I used to love all the swearing. All that, I mean, and we're talking, the mother, blah blah blah. In fact, there's even one, but someone says, "You guys should listen to yourself. You're nothing but a bunch of foul mouth." And then you can imagine what happens there. And yeah. I think with all these films, I like these films where you've got a bunch of blokes, a bunch of soldiers, a bunch of cowboys. These are my sort of films, and it's all about the interaction between them, and the superstitions and how they are. And some people really like other people, and they all sort of bond together. For me, I think a lot of my favourite movies, Wild Bunch, Major Dundee, Bridget Remark, they're all films where you've got a bunch of blokes that are in a situation where it's like something that's really happening tense. Some of them pass by the way, arguments, all sorts of things.
So, Sean, you're saying your favourite films are usually about a bunch of blokes who share a brotherhood.
Yeah, who share a brotherhood, yeah.
Who share a brotherhood.
As you go through it, and because I mean it's all the interaction as well. Do you know what? It's not the act. I love action. I love the act. I like nothing better than sitting around with a bunch of blokes and chatting and swearing and that sort of thing. But this is much the same, but it's very intense. It's very bloody. There's a lot of combat in it. To me, from all the documentaries I've watched about the Vietnam War and the battles and all that, this is how I could imagine it being really quite nasty, from both sides. And there's some nasty things that happen in it, and it's very foul mouthed. And I think it was heavily censored after. But
okay, but sure. What I was saying is that you like films that are about a bunch of guys sharing a brotherhood, becoming a family, if you will.
Yes.
And yet, you're trying to tell me you don't like the Fast and Furious movies. You're trying to tell me that you don't like the Fast and Furious movies. Well, I call foul.
But there's girls in that anyway. They've got girls in the team as well, so it's not a bunch of blokes, is it? It's mainly blokes, but there are a few females in there.
Sean, I think that's the wrong argument to be making about the Fast and Furious movie.
Too many girls. That's the problem. It's what they've always said. Too many girls in the Fast and Furious films.
Yeah, when they do those slow mo bits, it's all about family. It's all about family. Yeah, I mean, but the films I'm talking about is where there are intense scenes of mainly combat and the highs and the lows. So I mean, when you read accounts of soldiers that have been in battle and the adrenaline and all the pump, and then the sort of the come down from it, as you will, and the lead up to it. So, but it's got lots of action in it. It's nearly fighting all the way through. They burn the villages, they shoot the people. Some of them get killed. They got a really hard ass captain. I could quote this film. This is one of the films that I could. There's certain films that I probably know all the dialogue. This would be one of them, but it's most of every third word is a swear word. So I can't really mention it. But yeah, no, I love this film. It's not a particularly good quality, and there's a really good song in it as well that I've tried to get. So yeah, but the quality of it is not the best.
So video, but it's the quality might not be the best, but they had something apparently.
Yeah, because... I think this it's sort of where Platoon, all those other ones sort of got there.
You know what it is, right? Sure. This film, as much, and this might have something to do with the fact that I'm pretty sure you and Quentin Tarantino have the same brain. But it sounds to me like the kind of film that Quentin Tarantino would be like, oh yeah, and he would rave about it. Well, this is brilliant, everything like that. It was great. Oh yeah, no, it's so good, so good. I mean, it's all in the English countryside, but it's amazing. It's amazing. It sounds to me like the kind of film that he would talk about that, because I still want to see you and Quentin Tarantino sit and have a chat, because I figure that you guys would just sort of like rave about the same things, and all of us, like Holly, myself, Sharon, we'll all just leave and we'll come back 2 hours later and you'll still be there. Talking about all the same things you loved when you were kids. But all right, so how many stars for How Sleep the Brave?
I would give it a 4, but the quality's not that good, so I think it must have been taken off a VHS copy, because there's one bit where, like the old screen, you go through it. It's not it's where the tracking goes a bit, so it's not the best quality film, but it is highly charged, a lot of action, and very quotable, and yeah, I really, really like it. So I'd have to give it a 4-star, but if we're saying quality, probably the grainy quality, VHS quality. But it's pre-certificate, so it's pretty damn good. So 4 stars.
Okay, 4 stars for How Sleep the Brave.